are
That
live.
disjoints!
Oh,
I
nice.
hope.
That would have killed. By
Every
the way.
single
If you didn't
time,
have
that
flags-
throws me
Ladies and
off.
gentlemen,
If you didn't
boys
have
and
flags, that
girls.
would've killed.
We are live.
Also,
the
speaking of
very
disjoints,
first,
the one thing
I say the one thing. Like,
technically
from
second,
the very beginning,
but
Technically.
hey, there was one thing that pissed me off.
The
Nobody
first one
saw
was-
I do like any
Yeah, the first one was
competitive
garbage.
shit. Up
That
smash
one was on
from
Levi's
Fish.
channel.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Unlike
like
this
the hand,
one,
we
should
had
be a
no
bigger
skip.
hitbox.
I agree.
I guarantee will be of much higher quality
It would
because
actually
I'm
even
running
make
it.
the
Let's
speed
go.
throw, or
Speaking
not. Alright,
of,
they're
the
into it more.
amazing
consistent.
voice you're hearing right now is Rapidio. Look at that beautiful
Like
Pichu
honestly,
icon on the top
Ruby
left.
does
Marvel
beautiful.
at it.
I'm not gonna
Such a
just
cutie.
Say, like,
You already know who
Rep
Rep's gonna play in Smash
one
Ultimate.
Big meme. So
Good.
don't worry, everybody.
I like
The
the
one
burning.
character
I like the burning
who,
city
like,
in the
it's
background.
The easiest for you
I
to do
quite
it
dig
to
that in the Pichu icon.
is the one you
Absolutely.
say you have
Help.
the worst matchup.
For some of the
against.
other people that you'll be seeing around here
I can
pretty
find
often
new
for
ways
the
to kill you
SlapCast would
every
be
day.
me, CPWMA, Captain Planet with metal arms,
Also, I'm not
Levi here,
actually trying to
that
think
is
what
my
the worst
name.
matchup would be for Fish.
and Rambo.
Hello.
You know
Oh,
him
could
from
be, yeah.
commentating every single tournament.
Mm,
I'd say it's
I
pretty
should get
similar,
back
so.
to commentating.
commentary
probably
is very
But
very
Flex
fun.
has
It's
been learning
very
how to fight
rewarding for
PCM,
sure.
so you're actually just
I-
one of my favorite.
I
We do
don't
have
see
a
VCM
special
being the
guest with
worst.
us today.
I
We have
really don't.
Juzo.
From when we've been
I mean,
playing.
it's probably
hey, guys.
Ram, just because she's fucking busted right now. It'll
Just
Ram
chilling
right
in the
now
background.
is. I think
Don't worry
Idle does
about it.
better.
Cairo says it's hard to hear with the video playing right now.
That should have been
Oh.
muted.
Okay, good
Well,
job,
that
Rep.
video
We're
should be
real
muted.
professionals. Don't worry, everybody.
Oh well. Well,
Is
I'm happy to
I
be
make-
on here, you guys.
I'm actually impressed by the fact that we already have 20 people.
Yeah.
And- 17 now. We lost 3. We fucked up.
Why, thank you.
They were just being chilling in Slap City Online watching Mango. They thought that was the podcast.
This is true.
I've been working on Idle for like 2 months, and I've been working on Jenny for like 2 days.
And I've been working on Ruby for like a couple of days and like maybe a week almost now.
I've been
Alright.
not working on Slap for like 4 weeks now.
Which is to just, you know,
Go back.
show that this is recorded footage between me and Rep
Yes.
like last night playing Ruby versus Fish. And we got some really good stuff.
Ruby's a cutie.
I'm sorry.
Actually,
Ruby, cutie.
Don't say that.
I'm very
Why not?
happy that you're here to contribute with this sort of discussion, Levi.
All right, we're moving on to the first topic at hand. Is Ruby cute?
Yes.
No.
All right.
The answer.
Topic
All
over.
right.
Somebody
Alright,
please
cool.
delete this.
Delete this entire podcast.
All right.
No, the
Alright.
actual first point of discussion is going to be over tournaments.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
I would-
that's a broad general term, but we can break that down further. I think first we should analyze the tournaments themselves, namely how many there are.
I believe
there
this
are
week alone
large
there will
amount.
be at least. You know, I'm gonna take a look. We already have like 4.
5.
There's 6. There is actually 6 tournaments
What?
that will
Oh,
be
no, there's
happening
6,
this
yeah.
week.
There's Slapaholic, Wacky Wednesday,
Wi-Fi Weekly, Slap
Wi-Fi
Saturday.
Weekly. Slap
Uh,
Saturday.
Sunday has an EU tournament, but Sunday is also a doubles tournament.
What on earth?
Yeah,
And-
multiple tournaments one day. Fantastic.
And secretly, there's another tournament that I'm going to be hosting under the name of Region Locked, which will be
Ooh.
based for US East and US West, 2 different brackets that'll be
That's-
running at the same time.
Oh, thank
I
God.
like that.
Here I was thinking, you know what? We're not close enough to the double digits in these tourneys. Cap coming in the clutch, making sure that we have complete and total burnout.
I want to point out right now
For real,
that this is me showing Rep how far Ruby slides from crouching. It's insane.
Also, can we talk about the fact that Fumbles is going to win all of them somehow? He's gonna find
Listen,
a way. to
Fumbles
enter
can't
every-
enter at least one of the Region Lock tournaments. That's a great thing for you guys to know.
He's
The
going,
West one, because I think he's East. He can't join that one.
he's going to go
Oh.
out of his way to move to those locations.
He's been practicing his omnipotence.
Dennis is my favorite EU player.
Dennis is a lot of people's favorite EU player. Too bad he quit.
I
Yeah,
miss
that-
Dennis.
Dennis is great.
Dennis was a very different fish than every other fish.
Dennis Dennis is he's a Monster Hunter main now.
Yeah.
Granted,
Also-
so am I, but
Everyone here just plays Monster Hunter.
Also, I'd like to take a quick moment to give a shout out to Babel for this beautiful overlay.
yeah, yes,
Thank you, Babel, for this overlay. It's
Babel?
very nice.
beautiful human being.
All right, we're not giving her nearly enough credit. She made
For
this in
real.
30 minutes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we really weren't prepared for this.
It's kind of outrageously amazing, you know.
It looks beautiful.
It's
It does. It actually looks really nice for a
fantastic.
30-minute made thing. To just get some information out of the way about tournaments, we do have Slapaholics, which is on Tuesday at 8 p.m. And it is now officially counting towards the SEO leaderboard. I don't believe it counts towards the Slap League.
So is it just like a normal tournament?
It's a normal tournament hosted on Tuesdays for those who can't make it to those Friday,
We-
Saturday, and Sunday ones.
We already have the ones we can't make it to.
Don't worry, just in case you couldn't make it again, you
Just
have
in
Tuesday.
case. Just in case you're never free on the weekend at all.
Yeah.
You
Personally,
have
I
to.
believe that Slapaholics should have stayed as that tournament where it doesn't count towards anything, because that's
Yeah.
just like a for fun kind of tournament, but still with a serious, like, for people who are new to tournaments to train without it counting against them.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should have kept without the
Well,
O's.
maybe something to discuss in the future about that.
Just
I
make it
think-
into an Arcadian.
I think
If you
that a lot.
placed top 8 at a tournament in the last 2 months, you can enter. Boom. Nice tournament.
Yeah. So
That would
no.
be pretty good, actually.
I think that at some point it might be submitted to Slap League, which in that case it's just going to be a grind fest for points during the week, which doesn't sound healthy.
There's
That is
way-
the problem with having this mini tournaments around, if they're all like counting towards Slap League, because I do believe EU's
Yeah.
does now, which incentivizes non-EU
Yeah.
players to join.
Yeah, no, I
which is
don't
kind of a
like that at
problem.
all.
So I personally hope that some of these lose their Slap League
Yeah.
points.
That's a bit iffy for me.
Friday and Saturday I can understand, but
Yeah, exactly.
Sundays EU shouldn't. I'm also going to probably make sure that Region Locked doesn't, at least for the start of it, for like the first 2 weeks.
You know,
I
more,
just don't get why there's so many.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I'm gonna go a step further and say not only should a lot of these not count for points, a lot of these shouldn't be here. Or at
Yeah,
least Not
exactly.
with their frequency. Like in
One-
a single week,
One or two.
have- like often we'll have more tournaments than there are days in that week.
Yeah, it's a bit much.
I believe we actually have exact equal this week for the
Good
days in the week. We have
God.
7.
There's one thing that's always
so
like
much better. That's so much
But-
better, Cap. Thank you.
I see.
So,
I see
my
something-
opinion on the tournaments right now is you guys should be alternating Wi-Fi weeklies and Slap Saturday. Do it as a bi-weekly on each. That way you
I
can still reach the same audiences, and
Yeah.
then just have the other ones all just be casual that don't count towards anything.
I
Yeah.
actually agree with that a lot.
that sounds really good. Actually.
I mean, I'm fine with Slapaholics counting towards SEO leaderboard, just that it should never ever count towards the league. The league should be very specific.
I remember when I was still playing, I'm like, man, I'd have to enter 2 tournaments in a row in order to have like a good ranking on SEO.
also
It's a very stressful situation they put you into, and sometimes you don't feel like playing 2 days in a row. It's a really easy way to burn out.
yeah.
It's also a great way to train yourself to never have to burn out, because I remember when I first
I
started, I
suppose,
couldn't do
yeah.
these tournaments as much as I could, and I still tried because I just liked this game so much. I was like, oh man, I'm gonna just keep entering even though it's killing me inside.
Mhm.
Eventually, it just kind of worked out for me, and it's kind of like gotten used to doing like 6 tournaments in a row without a problem.
Can I ask something real
never-
quick?
Sure. What is it, Rambo?
So one thing that's troubled me a lot is like around beta bracket time there will be a Wi-Fi weekly like the night before, and like I know a lot of people will opt to not join in that because they want to rest for what was recently a 2-day beta bracket,
Yeah.
which a lot of people still burn out. So like in that sense, you're playing for 3 days straight if you're competing in both Wi-Fi weekly and beta bracket. So I think that like around beta bracket time, like Wi-Fi weekly just shouldn't happen like the night before. But
To bounce off
I
of
agree.
Juzo's idea, if we were going off rotation, Wi-Fi Weekly might have not happened, period. because the week
Exactly.
prior Wi-Fi Weekly would have happened and Slap Saturdays would have been off the table.
That would
Yeah.
have been, that's
It
true.
solves itself.
It would have been
It's
much
a very
more
good
fun.
idea. Something definitely we should all consider.
Yeah.
I do want to kind of get through this list so everybody knows the dates and times for these tournaments. Wacky Wednesday on Wednesday, 9, 12, 8 p.m. Hosted by Kaito. That one, the event for this one is that you can only play with keyboard.
Oh
So-
God.
Oh goodness.
A lot of people will probably not want to play that.
Yeah, that's no bueno for me.
That sounds
I need
beautiful.
my Xbox.
Yeah,
I need my
there's-
Xbox
I do
controller.
kind of want to join that to see just how far I can get through just playing. on
Yeah,
the keyboard.
no, that's crazy.
There's plenty of people who don't want to play in that tournament. They're called cowards.
Rep,
How
are you
am I
gonna be joining
Hey,
the
challenge me.
Wednesday?
How am I
Absolutely.
supposed to do my butt
Tournament, like,
clutch
4
without
weeks.
without the controller?
I actually really hope we get a stream for Wednesday because that can
Yeah.
only be maximum
Dude,
fun.
I will stream it on SCO if like, we need a stream
And you
because
can-
that
That's
sounds like a
perfect.
joy.
You can only stream using the keyboard. No mouse allowed.
Oh no!
I have to navigate my mouse with the arrow keys somehow. I'll figure it out.
Just Tab will be your friend. That's all I have to say about that.
I gotta say, I'm actually a real big fan of just being able to watch me and Rep's footage from last night. while
Yeah,
we
I
talk.
dig it a lot.
I think it's really cool. I think it's a very good way of doing this.
Yeah.
Moving on, we have Friday's tournament, Wi-Fi Weekly 16. Will be hosted by me, usually hosted by Cells. It's just the usual. It counts for the Slap City online leaderboard and the Slap League points. It'll be at 7 p.m. on Friday. And we have Saturday, Slap Saturday number 9, which is kind of hard for me to believe that Slap Saturday still isn't in the double digits, but Wi-Fi Weekly is reaching almost 20 now. Also counts for Slap City online leaderboard and the Slap League. Will be hosted by Rambo this time. Kree will be probably taking a break.
Yeah, I think the first Slap Saturday happened around the time I joined, which was like late June-ish, or mid to late June.
I think I started entering tournaments around the third one.
The third Slap Saturday? Or the
Think so.
third Wi-Fi Weekly?
There's Slap
I don't remember which Wi-Fi Weekly I started on. I'm actually going to take a quick look at that, because I probably can.
a quick little gander.
A quick little gander. Because I know it's probably still on bracket somewhere. Let's see. My first Wi-Fi Weekly... My first tournament ever was actually just called the Slaps Online Tournament 1. So that shows you how long I've been here.
Yeah,
That's
is-
that
Ooh.
off-brand
that
garbage.
was-
Oh
No,
my
that was the OG.
Good
That was before
lord.
like
What-
everything else. VODs of that exist actually. You can go to GR Slap right now and watch super old school gameplay, which is just
Y'all were
awesome.
old.
but super old school.
I
My
can't
legendary
believe I got
Ruby.
top 8 in my first tournament. It was 20 people, but still.
Just outplaying everybody.
Beautiful.
It's insane.
I remember my first tournament. I went up against Monkey Man for my first game,
Haha.
and I managed to take a game off him, which was apparently a big thing. But I ended up going 1-2 in that tournament. But I made top 32.
Does Monkey Man
So-
still speedrun? It seems like the speedrunning community's kind of died
I
off
think
a little
it seems
bit.
like it's kind of died down. I
I
feel
don't
like
know.
a lot of stuff has become really optimal.
I think
think
once the story mode kind of thing
Yeah.
happens, people are
Mhm.
definitely going to be starting up speedrunning again.
Yeah.
This is the time we've allotted for talking about tournaments, so we should probably discuss a bit what's been happening in tournaments recently rather than just the ones that are upcoming.
Indeed.
Fumbles on, I believe, a 8 tournament win chain right now.
Woo! He did it.
He's almost in the double digits, and he's trying very hard to make sure that he does stay in the get to the double digits before losing one.
I've
Nobody can
been
stop
like,
this man.
no, I've been wanting to like join a tournament with no practice and destroy Fumble
Do you think you can?
out of sheer willpower. Dude, Goddess is broken. I've had some developments since like 2 weeks ago, the last time I played this game.
I remember the last time you played this game, you were saying, man, why does Goddess suck so much and BCM can just get in free?
That's BCM being dumb. I got better at that matchup.
Okay, good.
I figured out that down B has a use you can kind of force people into the space you want them to be in. It's kind of nice. I was using it against Plup when I played him that night. Used it against
Yeah.
Rambo. It was working really well.
I've been seeing a lot more use of down B from goddesses just I meet randomly online, and they've been using it pretty well. It seems like you're not the only person who's recently figured
That's
out
very.
this.
I'm glad because the move has a actually pretty dang good use. You're not normally going to be hitting with it, but it's like you control that area for a short amount of time, and if they decide that they want to back off, they're right where you want them.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Game is not free for Joey. Have you played Cap? Played Cap
KG has fought me.
because
That's why I'm shocked.
that's
We
very.
fought in tournament, KG.
I'm not gonna say easy, but the BCM definitely is not bodied by Goddess.
No, not at all.
Not in the slightest.
I used to think that, and that was until I realized that I actually just don't have to respect goddesses neutral at all. Because you might as well not have it.
Yeah.
When you can just get past neutral B, then there's no point to them doing anything else because you're just gonna hit first.
Yeah, what is
Yeah,
she gonna do?
it's-
Call the cops?
Yeah,
Honestly,
got nothing.
because
I've
I'm
done nothing wrong.
somewhat fine with the matchup changing in that way, because I feel like Goddess has to think more.
Yeah,
Goddess
I-
barely has to think if you play her right.
the more the meta develops and the more players have to think to fight each other is better.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember the old days of Fish where like all you could do was just press side B, run, and hit the person with the attack, and then they'd die.
Pretty
That was
much.
the old meta because nobody knew what to do against that yet. But now,
wasn't
a
it
big
great?
boy.
Yeah, you win one neutral and then you kill them off of another pick. It's like,
The
oh,
big
okay.
boy
It was
dad.
fantastic. I could,
The
yo,
old
I could win
side
that
was
keyboard
scary.
tourney with old fish. Let me at him.
you just gotta, you can win that keyboard tourney with current Fish. All you need to do is flex and then down throw.
Oh
It's
my
easy.
gosh.
Yeah, wave flex into down throw is
I actually don't know
Tournament
how easy
standard.
it is to wave flex
You know
on
what?
a keyboard.
We may as
Oh,
well make
wave
that
flex on a
next
keyboard?
big talking point.
Yeah, it's probably
Yeah,
time to move
might
on.
as well. So wave flex into down throw, everybody.
The next big talking point actually would be to ask Juzo a bit of questions. As our guest, we planned on doing a player interview today, and we decided that Juzo, as an old top player, is the best person to have his feelings come out first. You know, about his ideas with the game, what he sees wrong with it, what he sees right with it, how he feels on the meta.
So the meta right now is in a weird spot. There's two characters I feel should never be in the top 3 right now. And Remedy and Jenny are those characters. I don't think it was in a good spot 2 patches ago either when Jenny was top, because they are kind of non-interaction central and they are extremely hard to combat at a range and at a close range because of their floatiness. And floaties in Slap are very privileged because there's just no verticality to most combos.
Yeah.
So you may be a floaty and you get out of horizontals and there's no real counterplay to the vertical play, and you're just like, well, I guess I'm out. No problem. A good example of this is I was watching Cap versus Fumbles last weekend, and Fumbles played great. This is nothing against Fumbles. Fumbles is a fantastic player and would easily be top 5 on any character. Just putting that out right now. But Cap won 12 neutral interactions against 1 stock and lost 3 and lost the stock against Remedy. She has a much easier time with that neutral, but she also has to do so much work in order to get in on these things. So it's not like, hey, Remedy's free, you get all this. She takes a ton of practice and a lot of actual tech skill with like the flash cancel, the FCC, the flash clutch cancel stuff to actually utilize it effectively. But she's in a really strong spot right now. She has pretty much no weakness. Like dying at an early percentage when she can gimp other characters, I wouldn't really say is a weakness when she gets out of everything. And then she's got insane stage control with Mine and Flask can be charged and is also useful when it's not charged. The burst movement from Flask clutch cancel is insanely hard to punish. It's basically when you're recovering with your 5+ up Bs, I have to guess if you're going to mess up or not. when you're recovering because you have so much safety on where you choose to land. And then there's just a lot of aerials that she has that are safe on block. So she's got a lot of issues. Like, I'm not sure where they need to start to fix her, but she's not a character that should ever be good just based off of her concept alone. She's kind of just an issue overall. And then Jenny was in a similar spot where she's got these guaranteed kill throws, which kill at 90 to 150%, 90 to 120% based on DI. She has combo throws with up throw into up air, and then it's just a juggle fest. You just have to follow up on the juggles. If they jump air dodge, then they get out and you can fall down and get the up air. And then her nair was decent on block. Dare was okay, but not that good. And then down B was really hard for a lot of players to deal with, but there's a lot of counterplay coming out and against that. And that kind of counterplay just doesn't really exist versus Remedy right now. So like Remedy's Jenny's in a much worse spot right now than she ever was, with axes being useless, both side B and neutral B. They're basically just, I'm wanting you to approach, come to me, let's play moves, rather than, well, I hit you at a close range, I'm going to try to bait out this reaction and go for a punish based on what you do. So, I don't know. And then, oh, go ahead.
The biggest change with Jenny is that they've sort of turned her zoner character completely focused on all of her other aspects, mostly her aerials and her tilts. And while she does those pretty well, like they are good moves, nobody denies that, a lot of her power does come from her axes, and when people were suggesting changes, what they were kind of wanting her to become is something more similar to Falco from Melee, where you can use your axes to approach, not to just lock down an area and I'm just going to sit over here and wait for you to do something kind of playstyle. That's what we have Remedy for. Which I don't want to change Remedy's playstyle at all. I just don't think any zoner should be in top 3 of any sort of like platform fighter, because zoners in themselves are already just a hard character to deal with.
Zoner is fine in top 3. It's just a floaty zoner that makes it problematic because you don't get a reward for getting in on them.
Yeah.
And a good example of this, while not a zoner, but in an extremely strong state right now, is BCM. BCM is satisfying to fight because once I get on BCM and I can hit him, I get rewarded. I may have to guess if he's going to go for a chair and then try to bait something, but I still have more counterplay to fighting BCM than I do against Jenny or Remedy.
Well, you know who I actually would call a zoner with a nice weight is Goddess, actually, since she's zoning around with neutral B. And if you play around neutral B correctly, her weight, you really can get comboed a good amount as a Goddess. You get punished like what is due. I think Goddess is in a pretty nice spot right now. Not broken, not bad at all.
Yeah, I think Goddess is actually perfectly fine. I don't want to see any changes to her. I don't think she's overpowered or underpowered in any aspect right now. The only thing that might change is the grabbing behind her and making it not grab behind her.
Yeah, but
that's
like
literally it.
Goddess is what a zoner should be in this game. Her weight is fine. It doesn't cause you to slip up, even if you win the neutral interaction more times than she does.
Also, in the whole point of that, one of her specials, or like projectiles, I guess is what you could call it, isn't interactable, but it has a limited range and it's a limited hitbox. And then her other projectiles, like the other 2, which would be down B, which is like a short timed mine, which you kind of just have to plan for, and just kind of holds an area without actually being a C4 like Rem's mine. And then side B, which is entirely interactable, but you can still use it to zone an area off. There's counterplay, but there's still, a lot of things you can control using Goddess's projectiles.
May I add something?
Sure.
Let's hear it.
So one thing that I like to see is like any form of projectile and or explosive in this game be interactable. Like the main offender of this is Rem's Mine, because it covers a lot of space, deals a lot of damage, has a lot of knockback, and you can't interact with it whatsoever. Like, and also Rem can put it down pretty much instantly and blow it up instantly right afterwards. So it commands a lot of space, and it's threatening at all times. Which I think Goddess's projectile and Idol's projectile to an extent does really a good job of this. Although Idol's bomb is a bit like messed up in some places, made it with the mini stun. But I think I think Rem's mind should be a bit more interactable, in my opinion, or at least there should be a bit more counterplay to it, rather than just trying to very carefully avoid it and not get blown to smithereens.
Okay, but what do you mean when you say counterplay? Like, what ideas did you have in mind? Just simply being able to destroy it, being able to move it?
I think at the very least, if Rem dies, the mind should disappear. But that
That's a little
I don't know.
not much.
True.
That would be
Yeah.
that would mean more if Rem didn't have the ability to activate mine as soon
Yeah.
as she placed it after
Yeah.
clutching it as well.
Another problem with Remedy is yes, she dies early, but you don't have any real good the only good vertical kill confirms either don't work on her or are on a bad character like Jenny. Jenny up throw up air worked really well on Rem, but Jenny
That stops working at 40%, by the way.
Oh,
So if she
does it?
up throws you at 40%, you don't DI, you can jump air dodge out of it.
That's okay. Well, change my mind. None of them work on her, and also at the same time, it's really hard to get a raw good hit on Remedy.
Yep.
It is. It is.
Insanely difficult.
She has a lot of disjoints, and people don't seem to like take that into effect as much
Exactly.
with her.
Like,
her disjoints are insanely huge.
You seen her foot on Dare? It's huge.
Yeah.
A big old circle.
I actually agree with Fumbles. Give Remedy legs. She has no legs when
Yeah,
she
she
does her
doesn't.
attacks, and it just makes it such a problem to hit back.
Uh,
If she had the BCM issue of everything having a hurt box, it'd be so much easier to fight her immediately.
Like, and another thing, getting like maybe a raw hit would be easier if she had trouble landing at all, but which she doesn't because of Flask CC or FCC. That maneuver is so good at just getting you on the ground if like you're tricky.
It's a very cool maneuver. I'm actually really glad it's in the game.
I like it a lot.
I think it's great.
I
Yeah,
also
the
like,
one thing they should never touch on Remedy is definitely her mobility. Her mobility is
Yeah,
what
her
makes it
her
fun for
mobility
players
is
to
great.
play.
It's a
But-
part of the reason why I like playing Ruby so much. And like this footage alone right now, actually, you can just see me playing around with using his movement to position myself in better spots, even if the attack doesn't work. Down B can be risky for this, but it still usually puts you in a place where you could actually get a benefit. You know, you can use it to move around your opponent.
Washed up. Just as a clarification, my picture is not Idle doing a cloud up air. That's her holding a Minecraft pickaxe.
I do
Because
like that
No,
though.
you're-
Can we
I-
please
I
change
prefer
Idle's up
that.
there to that?
I absolutely prefer that.
I want Idle to have the cloud up there.
let's not.
That'd be fantastic.
So
That
back
would-
onto the discussion of mobility. One thing I'd
Yes.
really like to see in Slap. I don't know if you guys read Wampa's document at all, but I definitely agree with a lot of what he said about jump
Increasing
squats should be
speed and jump
shorter.
squat. Yeah.
Yeah, and the base move speed of the game should be a bit faster. That
I-
way you can actually combo things quite a bit better from a shuffle situation, and there's actually counterplay to a lot of these super strong tools.
Yeah.
And after a certain speed, you can't really just dash dance in the corner because
Yeah.
the threat zones are going to be interacting a bunch, and you're not going to be able to just dance in the corner. You're going to get hit. So I'd like to see that just as a global change. Maybe just
Yeah.
make that one of its own patches and see how it goes.
Especially since now stages have been getting a little smaller, like Fluffy Fields is pretty
I
tiny.
love that stage.
So that stage is actually amazing. It's
I'm
Ow.
wondering if Saturn would be able to actually make its way back if speed were to be
I would
increased
think so, to
overall.
be honest.
I think it can. The problem, but then again, the problem with Saturn isn't so much that it's so long; it's that it's the top platform. You
Yeah,
can just
it's
sit
so-
up
it's
there.
too
No one.
high. I
That's the
think that-
problem in this game. No character has a good way of dealing with somebody above them that well.
yeah, it's like every character's Mac.
Yeah, Fish has a little bit of a way with up B, but every character only has like about one or two options that they can do. Rem being the best because she can go up there with you. Ruby being the next best because he can also just do that.
You want to be super sick? Give Fish DK up air.
Yes,
That's
Yep.
what Flex has
that's
been
what
asking
Flex
for.
has been asking. Yeah,
And then make second hit of it'll up air actually like get connected and give it increased knockback growth.
yep.
Suddenly two characters are a lot better against vertical situations.
Yeah.
Yeah, the character's kind of small.
The only thing I have to go off of is just like hitting a bomb up with an up smash and hoping to God it works.
For real.
And it's bad.
It's
feel
really
bad
sad
for-
when a rem just hangs above you as when you're playing, idle, because there's actually just not much you can do. If idle had some sort of like stick move for her up air instead of like the two
Yeah.
kicks, then it'd be fine. But she just can't reach her. There's no way to, or even just maybe some sort of interaction out of up B in some way, because I do believe idle's up B is kind of one of the worst ones in the
It's
game.
pretty
It,
bad.
yeah,
And that's with Jenny, who is like very predictable, but it has so little end lag that it works really well,
Yeah, it has
and you can do high.
ability as well.
and also with Jenny, you can control the air drift so much in comparison to Idle's up B, so that
But-
makes it a lot better
The-
than Idle's up B, in my opinion.
The problem with idle's up B is that it both leaves you there for a second, so if somebody's fast enough, they can just already stop you, and you don't have control over that. You just go whenever it reaches the point.
There's a
Yeah.
little control. You can sweet spot with it decently well.
You
So-
can, but I mean, like, you hang there before that you actually do the teleport. And if somebody knows, I mean, everyone knows you're gonna be going for, a recovery. That's why it'll requires having butt as a recovery.
a
Because
few
there's no other way for her to recover without it.
I have a
not
few
safe.
things to say about Idle's recovery. One is clutch wand recovery is one that I like to see more from Idle's, just because it's a good recovery mix-up. Because if you use butt too much, people are gonna predict it and punish it out of the jump accordingly.
Dude,
So
I
if you
like
can,
one's a
and another thing, you also can't sweet spot the ledge if Idle is facing away from the ledge after the wand,
Yeah, I
which
figured that out a little bit ago. It's crazy.
which is actually pretty bad.
Hmm.
Also, just recovering low as Idle in general is just bad because she doesn't have a hitbox on her recovery. So literally any spike will finish her.
Yeah, it doesn't help that she also has one of the worst spikes in the game, so she can't do the same thing to
so
people.
bad.
It's
Let's talk
so
about spikes
bad.
for a bit. How do you guys feel about spikes going into the ground right now?
I
I
don't
hate
like that. I hate
I
that
hate it.
Rem's there is actually so long that it can just cut through Null and Pepper.
Yep,
Ooh, yeah.
a bit much.
If Meadow wasn't as thick as it is, it would work there too.
That's
problem
not what
with
I
Meadow
meant,
is it's slanted.
but I mean more like in a mid-stage situation where you get spiked into the ground and you miss the tech.
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
So like as Idle, you're negative when you do that, and you get hit out of your next attack, which feels really frustrating. Same with Jenny. Do you think they should be getting a similar treatment to what Remedy got with her dare?
I think so.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, Fish is there also is like really good for this. So is BCMs. There's a couple of characters who already have the treatment needed for their theirs, where
Exactly.
like they can actually use them on a grounded opponent and it do something, and a like
'Cause-
aerial opponent.
Because like BCMs, it just straight up grounds you. But the
Yeah.
others don't do that. The others pop you up just a little bit to where you can just kind of do any aerial you want out of it.
Yeah.
You can just kind of do anything you want, and then Idle has to suffer because she decided to hit you and win neutral.
Ruby's is good because it actually is a multi-hit that puts you in hit stun for a little
Yes,
bit.
the Ruby's
so you
there
can
is
actually
also
land and do something after it.
Goddesses.
Fishes just gets out fast enough that he could flex or do anything from it, really.
Flexes a fast.
It-
Goddesses
it's-
has the pop up after she hits something, so that works as well.
But the two characters that suffer from it the most are Idle and Jenny, who just
Yeah.
get nothing from landing their spikes on stage. And
They
that's
get
not
hit.
really good.
Yeah, I've had many occasions where Idles have like hard spiked me into the ground with dare, and I just pop back up and nair them because I can.
Yeah, it's better to take the hit, not tech it, and then just do an attack right out of it. Like, what is Jenny gonna do? Like, my best option is down B, and I'm still negative in that situation. So
Yeah.
I'm actually hoping people tech it so that I can just try to chase with up air and reset the juggle situation.
Speaking of other things that are negative, please buff Idle throws. Like literally,
Buff
there
Idle.
she has like very few options at a throw. Like dare, like, I mean down throw. Like it's your best options to not tech it.
Like, imagine if Idle had good options that weren't butt.
Yeah, she'd be a lot more fun.
She'd be
She's
fun.
very like one-dimensional
to
right now
fight.
because there's just so many things that
She
you
is-
just abuse.
Yeah, she's the most one-dimensional character in the game right now, I believe.
I feel like Fish was that until
Yeah,
people started realizing he could do things.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Does really well now. Old Fish was very one dimensional.
like right now, I think Butt carries Idle.
Yes, it
However,
does.
I think a good neutral with Idle will take her a lot farther than Butt will.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I said I think the same thing. Yeah.
I think Idle could still potentially will be able to win like a tournament without having Butt and Bomb at her disposal. Bomb not being so much of an issue, more of a just kind of a thing that's annoying to deal with.
Yeah.
I do believe that it could be a little bit bigger on the hurt box.
Yeah.
But that's about the most I'd go for it.
Should start like practicing like without like just trying not to use Butt. Kind of like what Juzo did with Jenny before X's got nerfed, where he played without them. Basically,
I did a similar thing with BCM when I heard about the up throw change from up throw fair, because I used to use it. I didn't use up throw there as much, but I did use up throw fair a lot.
Yeah.
Because it was just a solid way of making sure I'd get a stock. So I just took it off of my like things I could do for a few days, and it worked out really well for me.
Yeah.
And I learned that BCM doesn't need these easy bake, oh, this is the best option thing. I actually learned by playing Ruby and other characters that it's a lot more fun to have this game have options that are good, but nothing that is like so good that why would you use anything else?
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Yeah.
what do you guys think is Idle's identity as a character? Like, whenever I think of Idle, I do think of Butt and Bomb, and I really don't think those should be touched much. Like, the worst I want to have happen to Bomb is give it Goddess's side B hitbox for hitting it back, and then leave it alone from there. And then with Butt, just make it consistent with other moves that stall you in the air, where you don't get it a second time. I really think those two changes would make it way okay.
The hurt box is a problem for it, because I tried up smashing Idle's butt today with Ruby, which is disjointed, and it doesn't work, and that doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah,
why is my big sword disjoint not beating you out when you're, just kind of falling on me? There's no reason for you to not fall on me. I have to avoid you because I don't have something to hit you with.
She has buns of steel.
Yeah, maybe reduce the hitbox, but I really don't want to see.
Adding clanking, I believe, next patch is what they said.
No, it's already there. It just doesn't have a visual effect.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's shadow clanking.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like I really don't want to see those moves touched, because like I'm still pretty unhappy about the fish down smash change actually.
Same.
Like
that was brutal.
That change I just don't understand at all. Like,
did anybody actually ever complain about fish down smash? Because I didn't hear anyone do it.
It's an extremely baffling change.
Wait, they changed fish down smash?
Yeah,
it don't have armor and it doesn't kill until like 90.
Are you?
It doesn't kill till like 90. It has no hit stun on stage, so if somebody hits you with it, you can just hit them out.
You've got
immediately.
That's stupid.
In fact, it happens in this this gameplay that you're watching. Eventually, you'll see Rep try and do down smash, and I just hit him because it does nothing, and I actually killed him from it.
And by eventually, he means several times, because I keep trying to do it thinking, oh hey, here's a move that's worked for months. I'll continue to use it, and it doesn't.
Yeah, he tries killing me with it at 0, and I just kind of slowly get back up while he's killing himself and putting himself in a bad position to do it.
I think I know what they were going for with the down smash nerf in some areas. Like, making it not kill at 0? Sure.
I feel that.
Maybe it was too strong of a gimping tool. But the knockback
I don't think it was. I feel like it's very easy to get around.
Also, why would you be like off stage at 0? Like, isn't that kind of asking to die?
At this point, if you're at 0, it's just smarter for the fish to down throw you with a wave flex and then try to go for down smash. He's risking more.
Yeah, pretty much.
And also, I believe fish down smash has armor only on the first hit.
I also want to just point out real quick on the replay here that I just jab locked Rep with Ruby's hat. And that's something that I'm amazed that can happen. I don't think it has any use.
It does not.
If there's a Ruby player who's aspiring to find out, go for it. Godspeed.
Just in giant air quotes, because you're seeing the delayed foot. You know what? Let me just try to put up the screen share of this video going on right now.
Yeah, that'll work.
See if that fixes things for you.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I've just been watching it through the stream so I can talk to, like, read what's happening in the chat.
Yeah.
Yeah, so chat can just chill out, be here,
chat,
making themselves known.
In terms of identity, when I think of Fish, I think of 4 things: up special, flex, down throw, and down smash. Those 4 things I feel like should never really be touched like much at all. Like I'm really hesitant about any changes to wave flex to down throw, despite it being really stupid.
I'm hesitant on not
because it's like core Fish like identity, and characters losing their identity is a way to just like it just loses a lot of the soul that Slap has.
Yeah,
you
right
know?
there was a really rough like example of the down smash nerf. I got 2 hard callouts on Cap with down smash. Down smash twice in a row. One to get him in the air, one to like careen him off the edge, and he just jumped back to stage.
Because there's nothing, and I wasn't even like at 0. I was like at 60. And
That's
I'm Ruby, a fast faller. We are doing a player interview right now, despite all the meta talk, which was supposed to be for later. But does anyone else have any questions for Juzo specifically? You know, how about like how do you feel on how Ludosity's been recently patching the game, Juzo?
I'm a little hesitant on a lot of things that Ludosity's been doing. Like,
Understandably so.
They're kind of over buffing characters and then over nerfing characters right now.
Yeah.
Like, let's just take a look at BCM right now. Why does he have up throw dare back?
Why
Like,
does he have up throw there back?
Really?
right
bring
before
that
the
up
right
later.
before the patch hit, I was messing around with BCM a lot, and I was like, this character's actually insane already. And then the additional utility of chair special into like forward smash and whatnot, which by the way I think is actually awesome, and I think it should definitely stay.
I think it's
Yes,
cool,
it's
but-
actually really fair too. It's not.
It's $600 and it's super flavorful. I think it's a good kind of thing to have in the game.
Yeah,
But
I can-
up throw dare kind of just eliminates some matchups. It's like, why?
Yep.
Yeah, it ruins the entire matchup with Fish, and it's not really fair. It's
Well,
just
like,
like,
you get,
hey,
what,
do you?
60%?
Yeah, did you like playing the game? Because I liked playing the game. You didn't get to for at least 100%.
It's like it's the revival of Goddess versus Fish pre-patch.
That is
it's-
frighteningly accurate.
Excuse me,
think
Fish.
he's
You,
dead.
you have to pay $150 to play the game. I'm just gonna collect that from you real quick.
Sorry, you didn't pay your taxes on time. I'll be taking $300. This is the late fee.
I can't believe
Just
Fish
pull
committed
all
tax
this
fraud.
from the fun fund, because you ain't having any more fun.
I saw you
Oh.
having a little too much of that.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you think that you could flex out of this one? Not this time.
So
God.
the
Sorry,
main issue
buddy.
that I have with Ludosity balancing right now is because they're really inconsistent on how they're wanting to do things. Are you wanting to listen to users? Then fine. Like, we can do the Steam forums and everything. That's cool. But then, like, you have a bunch of things that are just straight up ignored or just told that it's within like the acceptable power level. So I feel like they need to like decide, do we want to just do internal balancing and then just kind of say forget the forums? We'll keep an eye on them, obviously not completely ignore them, but we'll make the game however we want it. Or are we wanting to listen to the community, try to give them a game that's catered to their taste, to what they're wanting? And I just don't see like where Ludosity is standing on this. Like, take a look at Jenny. Like, she probably still is one of the most hated characters because of axes and whatnot. And she's kind of garbage. She's not garbage right now, but she is kind of garbage to play as.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of knee-jerk reaction stuff that's been going on, and it concerns me. I just like to see like, where are they wanting to have these characters go? What do they see as the characters' identities? Because like Jenny just doesn't have an identity right now. How does she approach? Like,
I
the
wanna
entire
point out-
gameplay of Jenny right now is you bait something, fade back, and go for a down tilt to a punish, or
Yeah.
you be awesome and land a fully charged up smash and just kill them at any percent you want.
I want to point out that what really sucks about Jenny is that there's actually no flashiness to her, which a lot of the other characters have kind of gotten over time. Idle has that flashiness. Ruby even has that flashiness now if you play him like as fun as you can.
Yeah.
It's harder to, but you still can do it. But I'm trying to think, there's nothing really flashy you can do with Jenny.
Like, the flashiest thing you can do is with her side B stuff.
Yeah,
But
and
there's too much end lag on it to really go for things.
Yeah. It's
Because right now you're just praying that they don't press a button, because you don't really have time to like call out what they're going to do. You have to send out the move, you clutch back, and then you dash forward. You go for the grab or for a jab. But if they do an attack, then your hose. If they roll your hose, you can't chase them down because rolls are kind of nuts.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like the only
That's
situation you
done.
really win out on is if they shield or do nothing.
I hope they apply the same things they applied to Fish's roll to every other character. Because Fish's roll, I've been recently feeling that I can hit him out of it like more consistently than any other character. And I don't know why. It used to be so hard to, but like now it's like very predictable. There's like weakness to it. You can do it a little bit earlier than other characters as well, I've noticed.
Rolls need a few frames of end lag, please, just
Yeah.
a few more,
Yeah.
because
Maybe not start on frame 1 as well.
Yeah. They
it's
start
fine
on
for them to
frame
start
one.
on frame 1. Just move the invincibility back a few frames, please, and
Yeah.
thank you.
I feel that.
Yeah, I agree.
Because like the best way to punish roll right now is to try to hit them in between it, because it stops being active after 25 frames, something like that. Where it is after like the middle section, you can hit them, and then there's very little end lag at the end, so they just do another roll, or they do a flex, or they do a down tilt, or
Yeah.
just a numerous amount of things. Because like fighting against Jenny right now is like, is she gonna roll and then down tilts? If
Yeah.
so, I need to jump back and try to punish whatever she does after the down tilts.
Also,
Or if I'm DCM, I just hit jab and then clank and beat her up.
Yeah.
spot dodging is very good right now as well.
It is. I've noticed that spot dodging has become more of the option rather than just shielding, because you can just keep spamming spot dodge.
Yeah,
And
like
you don't have to take any shield pressure.
I hate how much I spot dodge F Tota's Goddess and have it work.
I think just in general, defensive options in this game are really good.
And not
Yeah.
even just like in the sense that, oh, it's built into the engine that the defensive options are good. They mostly have to deal with things that could be changed, like roll and shield. It's not dash dancing so much. A lot of people have kind of figured out how to get past dash dancing, which I'm, glad that the meta has developed to that point. But
So I really hope people don't ask for perfect shielding nerfs, because like that's the best way for a lot of characters to approach right now.
Yeah, no, perfect shielding seems about fine. I just
it
honestly
should be a little less than 8 frames, I'm thinking.
I feel that.
Stick
I
on-
Also,
al-
the only perfect shield nerf I want is you can't perfect shield out of roll or spot dodge.
yes.
Yeah.
That too.
Hmm,
Also,
that'd be nice.
like even though this is a buff, I hate getting pushed back after perfect.
Yeah.
Oh my
lot.
gosh.
I hate it too.
Because it makes no sense.
Because it makes no sense, and it's very like you perfect shield, and then it's like, all right, time for me to do the punish, the grab I've already spaced for, and then, well, too bad, it didn't matter. Your spacing is ruined now.
Yeah,
Captain,
bit
I just saw like you forward smash rep out of a down smash, and that just hurt my soul.
Yeah, I saw that
yeah.
too.
I believe this is the game where I discover, hey, rep, I think I'm just gonna up B you a bunch for now. This is when I discovered that up B is like an actual consistent kill option if you just happen to combo your enemy till they're like 150, 180.
I think part of it is also just that Hurtland has really small like side blast zones.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that also helps. We turned on Hurtland for fun.
Captain
Yeah,
turned it on for fun.
Sorry.
He was having
still-
fun.
I still
He
love
was
this
having a
stage, by
bunch
the
of
way.
fun.
I was
Rep was
having so
hurting
much
so
fun on
much.
Hurtland.
Like outside of like I want to time people out, I really love stages like Saturn and Heartland. They're so much fun. You've got so much space to move, and in
I
a
do
game
like
where
them,
the selling
but-
point is the movements, it
Yeah.
sucks to have those banned.
Yeah, I
Even though
really
I'm
do
responsible
like
for those
Hurtland
being
too.
banned.
It just sucked having characters that could exploit them so well.
Yeah, Hurtland's a great stage outside of Tree and outside of like
Eh.
these 2 side platforms. By the way,
Still
that was cool.
asymmetrical.
Yeah, that
I
was
don't know
pretty-
about that. Still,
I'm fine with asymmetrical. Like, that's awesome.
Asymmetrical isn't a big deal if
It
characters can
works
deal
so
with the camping.
I just don't. I don't like the. I don't like the right side. I like everything else though.
The right side is a problem. Left
Uh,
side is okay.
Honestly,
It's a
like
little
Hurt,
weird.
I like Hurtland simply because like I can be more creative with my bomb setups, especially with like
Yeah.
There's a lot of ground interaction stuff, which I think is a really good thing. So I think stages
Yeah.
like Heartland with the unlevel ground and everything is really good. Like I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
yeah, that aspect
just-
of
it
Heartland
feels
is pretty
nice.
sweet.
So like I thought it was like actually a really good counterpick stage outside of the stalling capacity of the tree.
Yeah.
like Kree did used to think, oh man, everyone just hates Hurtland. We don't hate Hurtland. We all love Hurtland. We're sad that it had to go, but it had to go. There was no option.
Same with Saturn.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was
I don't
getting
hate Saturn,
exploited.
but like,
Yeah.
I used to counterpick
There
it
were
a
people
lot.
who definitely hated Saturn.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that one's a bit different. Nobody really hated Hurtland. I think just everyone knew that there was a problem with it.
I mean, I wasn't a big fan of Hurtland. If only because of that stupid bridge in the middle. I don't know when I show it off, but just that will eat fish short hop side B approach every single time.
I remember. I think you show it off like actually really soon.
That bridge has like hurt me on so many bomb setups.
But I love the bridge.
Ah, those up Bs. Those
The
up B
bridge
kills are
great.
so nice and satisfying. You want to feel satisfied as Ruby? Just keep comboing somebody till they're 180 and then up B kill them. It feels great. It really does.
Feels fantastic, Cap.
Well, we should probably move on a bit.
Yeah.
Maybe another question for Juzo. How about things that you would change for patch?
For patch,
Yeah, instead of how you feel, how Ludosity's been changing things, what exactly would you change?
Yeah, I'd like to hear your thoughts on Remedy. and how to
so
fix
my change for Remedy would be probably just increase her weight. Like actually,
Yeah, Yeah.
start with that, do that one thing, and then for Jenny, I would decrease the end lag of side B, and then for Idle, increase the end lag on first hit up air and have it send up a little bit higher so that it changes into up air 2 correctly. And then for Fish, restore the armor on down smash, and then raise the knockback growth just a tiny bit so it kills around 45 rather than 60.
Ugh,
Yeah.
I forgot about that one.
That down.
That would hurt. That down throw hurt.
Oh, yeah. Down,
But, like-
down throw's still good, guys.
And then
Down very good. If not,
up throw, I would reduce the knockback gain by like a tiny amount because you can combo with it against BCM, but no one else. And I'd actually like to see that useful as a combo tool because at higher percentages, around like 130, you can do up throw air strong sometimes on BCM. And I think at that percentage, it's fine. It's just when it was at like 70, 90, 110, where it was really a big issue. And I would remove the handle hitbox from jab because
Okay.
that's real dumb.
That's reasonable. Yeah.
that's fair enough. Yeah.
And
Ruby
then
doesn't need too many changes. Personally.
Goddess, remove the backwards grab box. That's it for Goddess. I think she's actually in a really good spot. I think she scales with player skill extremely well, and
Yeah.
she's really garbage with bad players, and is pretty okay with good players, and then really good with really good players. So I think that's like a really good design, where like she scales with skill extremely well.
Yeah.
And then
I like her a
BCM,
lot.
I would increase the knockback growth of U throw so that up throw dare only works once.
Yeah. Up throw there can maybe work once or twice on like Fish. That's what I think it should be.
Oh, and then if I actually want to hurt BCM, I would reduce money gain on shield by 50%. Or
Yes.
make him lose 50% of money on death.
I
One or
think-
the other.
I think the shield is the right way to go because it feels so bad to like for people when somebody gets money and an advantage from hitting your shield.
Yeah, I don't.
Besides just hurting your shield, it's not like BCM doesn't have like good moves for like shield pressure as is. It's already pretty good. He's already pretty good at that. So gaining more from it is a problem.
Something Pung said: reduce hit stun on ledge get up for Goddess of Explosions because the ledge get up attack or the kill confirm thing into up air or up strong or air strong. My bad.
Yes.
That's not a thing. You can DI out.
Yeah, I
that-
know.
that's
That's
not
not
true.
That's not true.
Goddess get up attack is pretty garbage.
It's actually really bad.
It is super bad. I didn't realize how bad it was. In fact, it's so bad that BCM can side B and
Yeah.
grab Goddess's get up attack before the attack hits him.
Oh,
Like,
And
there's
it's
so much-
insane.
It's
Oh, actually, one other thing I'd really like to see is some way to discourage Goddess from staying on the ledge and doing neutral B.
yeah. No, I hate that.
That's
It's
the one
really
issue I
lame.
really do have with Goddess, that she's not scared on the ledge at all.
The only
And the ledge is
only
scary in
character-
Slap, and that should be respected.
yeah.
It's scary for every other character too, because
Yeah.
I've been
If you-
noticing that a lot actually.
if you haven't gotten hit and you're on ledge, it's a scary place to be, and you should only be there if you absolutely know what you're doing. I have a clip that
Yeah.
I showed Rep the other day of me using the ledge for advantage, but it doesn't make it any less scary what I did. It was risky to do.
The only
really
character
cool,
that
man.
can deal with Goddess neutral being around ledge is like PCM. He does really well against it because of his amazing dashing maneuvers.
BCM has a lot of power against anybody near ledge.
His
if you
ledge-
are on ledge, he
Edge
is
guarding is
controlling.
so good.
Yeah.
It's oddly
His edge guarding, so not
Yeah.
as well. But his
You
ledge
would-
guarding, insane.
you wouldn't expect that from I didn't expect that from BCM, but it's so good.
Yeah. You can just sit there and basically prepare for any option that they're gonna do. Are they gonna get up attack? You can read that and just grab and toss them back out or kick
Yeah,
them back out.
Exactly. So the thing, like, he's really good at just throwing them back off. They have to try get back there again. I think up tilt is fine. Up tilt has its uses and it has the uses that it needs.
I think, honestly, I think her kit is probably the best out of everyone in the
It's-
game in terms
yeah.
of balance right now.
It's
Yeah.
very nice.
Yeah.
Goddess barely even needs to change besides the bugs. Like
Goddess is good
back
too,
grab,
which is the whole thing. with
also
her.
something you didn't mention, Juzo. The thing with Uppy where the landing hitbox and downward hitbox merges and you die
Oh,
at 0.
God, yeah, knockback stacking.
It's
knockback stacking.
that is a
you know
whole
how I feel
nother
on it.
issue
I
in
love it
itself.
and hate it.
Mhm.
I love it and hate it.
I love it for some things because like if you like back throw and it combines with like ball, they go straight up and it's like, okay, air strong. This combo setup is cool. Or you
Knockback
just
stacking
get
should not apply to spikes. flat out.
no, it shouldn't.
So
I
speaking
agree.
of which, if it'll gets hit by a strong attack and her bomb's right behind her, the bomb will stop her every time,
Yeah, that's
which is
that's not
pretty
really
jank.
that's not really combination, but I hate it.
It does.
It kind of is.
I wish instead of just stopping her completely, that it would like just reduce how far she goes flying. Because then, if she's like at real high percent and she gets like say BCM cell F smashed, she's still gonna die, despite bomb being there.
I think it should work kind of like how the bumpers work on Bumper Town. Like after a certain percent or after a certain like knockback strength, you just fly through the bumpers and just die.
You know what? That's actually a pretty good idea. It would also mean that using bomb to camp when somebody's already insanely high percent after camping them for a long time would be less effective. Because it's
Yeah.
not they're not gonna, get that mini stun the same way. They're gonna kind of be going through it instead of just stopping.
Yeah. Also, never mind. I got nothing.
The other thing I would do would be the global changes of jump squat and just increase movement speed by like 10 to 15%. Just a small bit, but just enough where you can play around these super strong tools and combo a little bit better on things.
Yeah,
Like
that sounds
I'd
fantastic.
I'd love to see Nair to Nair be true for Jenny, so I don't get flexed out of it.
Yeah.
Like
Just
It
a little bit
sucks.
faster.
There's
so
just
much,
some
like,
things in this game that just really suck because it's like, oh man, time for me to do my cool combo, flex or
Flex.
Jenny down B.
Yeah.
Everything is like
Yeah.
3 or 4 frames off of like, this is really sick, this is great, this is so good, and you're always just like 3 or 4 frames off. So
It's
I'd
like
just
neutral
like to see
B
that.
into air strong. You're so close to being able to do it like almost perfectly, and it's just not there because it's just like 2 frames off from just like, oh well, they can fast fall out of it and air dodge out of it.
I can't tell you how many of Idle's combos that I've tried that just get like eaten up by like flex or down B, and it just hurts every time.
And then
Usually
I think
you like
honestly,
that
Fish would
combo.
probably like get the most out of the changes as well. Just the global changes, because then Nair would kind of combo a little bit better. Fair would be a little bit better. Like I think he'd benefit the most, and then probably Ruby. Like
Yeah.
those two would probably benefit the most from the changes. But I think it would create a better neutral overall to be engaged with.
I want to point out on the footage, when you saw me just bear chain rep for like about, I don't know, 10 bears, that was me making a point about how Ruby used to play. I was like, hey look, this is what Ruby used to be able to do consistently all the time. Bear, 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 bear.
That's all he did. It was
It
fun
is.
for a little
He's so
bit.
much cooler now that he can't just do that as easily.
Man, I sure love landing with neutral B and having people not know.
It's so hard to combat. Like what?
It
what do
really
you even do?
is.
Like
It's
What
so
do you
big.
do?
the move's
It's
not
so-
over.
You
It's
land,
still
you
going.
bounce up. It's still
It's
going.
still going, boy.
It hits the ground. That's the whole point of it. That makes it so like a problem. It hits the ground and it's still going. It just keeps
Mhm.
happening after that. So it's
Yeah,
like, all right, time to punt it. Nope, not
And
yet.
And then it goes so fast. So if you do land with it and you hit them when you land with it, you get like 20% and then continue your combo.
Oh, if they don't perfect shield it, you break their shield. And that's the best part.
Are you
I did
kidding?
it on Kree. Yeah, it
What?
breaks their shield because they're stuck in
Holy.
shield stun the entire time it happens.
I did
It's
that.
actually
I did,
gross.
dude.
crazy.
I hope more shield break setups come up because when I was playing Dennis the Monday before last, I'm sure some people still remember the where I down special. It hits a shield, and then I hit both hips of up smash on a shield, and if they have just a teensy bit of shield damage, it breaks,
Yep.
and you just get whatever.
I know one setup that breaks shields consistently is hitting bomb and butt on the shield at the same time.
You
Yeah.
can also do it with half charge
has-
ref and bomb.
It'll has a
Does
few.
so much it'll
nice-
damage. It's actually kind of crazy.
Yo, you know what a nice move with Idle is? Yo, that
Mhm.
down smash though.
Yes.
Her down smash is like my favorite move in her
It's
entire kit.
so nice.
I played Idle against Rambo and Kaito on,
Yeah.
on the first Slapcast.
On the beta
The
Slapcast.
beta Slapcast. And it was the funnest time I've ever had because I don't know how to use butt that well or bomb. So I just
Yeah.
kind of played the game like completely different than any Idle that they fought, and I was beating them. And I mostly used down smash chasing them because there's no reason to not. You get out of it so fast, the hitbox stays around while you get out of it. And it kills early, and it has hit stun for days. Why
And
would
it's
you
safe on
not
block.
use down smash?
It's
Just-
safe on block.
It
It's
is safe
scary.
on block.
Knowing like
Big
It's
whatsoever.
safe. It's safe against BCM fire sale, which is what I really like. If you do it on a BCM that's using chair and they
You wanna-
try to sell, you get out first.
Oh man, you want to learn how to play this Idle? I want to teach all the Idles to be good. 'Cause I want to see more good Idles.
Yeah,
That would be great.
There
I
are
think-
very few of those.
Because there's
There's very few. There's like 4 in top 10 right now. We need more.
I think the really good active ones right now are Cairo and Babel and the active ones anyway are Cairo and Babel. That's about it.
Right here, this is me showing off why Heartland sucks. I'm trying to short hop wave dash and
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I
You
forgot
can't- you
about
can't do
Cowtown. I'm
anything.
sorry.
short hop nair.
Cowtown
Not
is
true.
great.
Cowtown
What
is
you guys say.
alright.
I like Cowtown. He uses a move well, knows how to use it, and does
Yeah.
it better than most. And I
mean-
think once he develops his neutral better, he's going to be showing up a lot more people.
I mean,
Hopefully,
he's been using butt a lot less, which is
which is good.
yeah.
That means he's learning. He's improving as
But the thing
it'll
is,
do.
like, he's playing around the identity of a character, and I think that's really good.
Yeah.
I'd really like to see Ludo focus on like what are the identities of each of these characters, and let's try to make them strong in each of those categories.
Yeah.
BCMs is in his meter, which he kind of already is strong in that, and he's only
Yeah.
getting more stuff for his meter, which is why I like the down B and up B change.
Yeah, I really think that like BSim's pretty much fine, other than like up throw. I think that's just kind of ridiculous that he should have that back.
And the
Yeah.
shield thing is just the rest of the changes I would make for BCM are just quality of life, and
Yeah.
aren't technically necessary, but would just make fighting him more fun.
And then-
just,
Ruby, sorry, go ahead.
I just base my playstyle off of Idle's Bomb just because one, they look cool and I can do cool things with them, and it's just a really good move.
Idle
Yeah,
in
and-
concept
that's
is a
great.
really cool character, but she can be turned lame by abusing her options too much.
Yep.
And
This,
that's
I
my
can,
problem with her.
yeah.
They just
like, I
need to be slightly weaker, and then they're fine. It's fine that those are her best moves. I want them to stay her best moves. I just
Mm-hmm.
don't want them to be so powerful that there's no reason to do like anything else.
And then let's see. So for Ruby, what would you say his identity is? Like, I definitely feel like his neutral B is like the core of his gameplay right now, and I think
It's
that's
just
really
like-
cool.
I think
I do too.
movement-
I actually
movement
really
and
like the neutral
combos. Movement.
Neutral
and
B and his like
I think-
aerial like game and combos
Yeah.
are entirely what he is. He's very freeform than he used to be.
Yeah, exactly.
He
Yeah.
used to be like,
I
oh,
love
I'm
that.
gonna use the same move over and over again. But now Ruby's entire character, which is why I like him, is that he has no abusable options, but a lot of good ones, and they're all
Yeah.
like ready for a different situation. So
He's
Ruby has the
great.
power of being like, I'm versatile. I'm gonna come at this situation from like 2 or 5 different ways, depending on what I have ready for
Yeah.
me.
Ruby's a zoomy boy.
Yeah, he
Ruby's
is a zoomy
identity
boy.
is actually in a great spot, in my opinion.
Yeah,
I think that he's in a good spot.
he used to be a lot lamer than he is now, and I feel like if
Exactly.
people played him and picked him up, we could see some really cool and fun stuff in tournament. Because
Yeah.
he's not as, despite being like probably one of the worst characters, like second worst, because I do think Jenny's worse right now.
Yeah, I think she's.
He's not so. Nobody in this game is so bad that you're not possible to get top 8 with.
Yeah.
And I want to reiterate that for everyone because like this game is still really well balanced, except for like the top 2 or 3 characters, and it's mostly just issues that they probably didn't see really coming. You know, nobody really thought, oh, the super floaty's gonna never be killed because she can get out of combos. You know, that's not something most people expect. They think, oh, a super floaty, she'll die every time. You know, that's probably what they thought when they were going into it.
I honestly think that both Ruby and Jenny are the characters that should be bounced around,
I
just
agree.
because they're both very honest, and the reason why that the top tiers are top tier because they have abusable stuff that they can
Yeah.
work with.
I
The
think at the point right now that Jenny is too honest, while Ruby is honest but still has his cool stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
So
I
I
would have.
completely disagree with Rambo. I don't think Jenny should be balanced around. I really think that the characters that should be balanced around, and we can actually talk about this as well. Like the ideal tier list for me, the characters I would want the game balanced around are BCM, Fish, Ruby, and Goddess.
Yeah,
I'd
I
say
agree.
Goddess.
That's those 4 are like the perfect people in the game for
But
me.
yeah, no, I feel that completely.
I think Fish is like almost perfect. Just get rid of that wave flex thing with down throw.
Yeah.
Then
It's a bit
he's
too much
perfect of a
fun.
character. I
Like
think
an ideal
BCM is
tier
also
list for
really
me?
close to it.
An ideal,
Ruby could-
yeah,
Yeah, go
an
on.
ideal tier list for me would be BCM and Fish at top tier, and then high tier. So like S would be those 2. A would be Goddess, Ruby, and Idle, and then B tier would be Jenny and Remedy. Like
Yeah.
I think that would be like the healthiest like ordering of characters, and I think that'd just be really good for the game overall because you have these high interaction characters that are pretty flashy. You can do a lot with, and then you have like Goddess where it's super high on the spacing, and your dash dance game has to be on point. You've got Ruby who is a lot of interesting movement. He's got burst movement options which are cool. Then you have Idle, which is a ton of creativity. You have Jenny, which like her identity is like, oh, you've got like down tilt, neutral B axis, side B axis, and then up smash is like, those are the 4 things I think of when I think of Jenny. And then Remedy, where she's still going to be able to have insane stage control and great burst movement, but she just shouldn't be as good as she is right now. Like, I'd really like to see a tier list like that.
So there are actually a few questions that are coming from the chat. There's one I really would like to answer. So here's the question: Would Idle be the worst character without butt? And I'm gonna try and answer this in a way that I'm gonna try to answer this as
I
best
think
as I
you should
can.
hit this first because you are the Idle main here, and then the rest of us can give our ideas.
Yeah. So I believe if Idle butt was toned down in terms of killing power, or they toning down the hitbox, I think Idle would still do very well under the condition that Idle mains actually worked on neutral. Because as of right now, the Idle butt is just like a get out of neutral free card, and I've seen Idles do very well without like abusing butt. Like for example, Wampa and Babel, like they both utilize neutral very well. They utilize Idle's normals to their fullest, and they still. Yeah, I think Wampa actually won a tournament with Idle. And Babel has consistently made top 8. So I think Idle will be fine without butt. It's just that right now, why would you want to do anything else when you have butt?
Yeah. But I just don't think the players try that much outside of butt. Like
A common issue I've seen in this game that happened with a lot of the Fish mains after Rep and Babunga were that a lot of people just kind of didn't try anything new. They knew about Fish up B, they knew about Fish side B, they knew about Flex, they knew about up throw. So they were like, okay, this is how I play. I don't have to develop a style for myself because these things are consistent and these things are really powerful. But being consistent and really powerful isn't, isn't something that's necessary.
Also, one thing is that I can look at a top player and I can tell who they are just by their play style. Like, I know like the top idols, they all have very distinct play styles. Like I can look at one idol and say that's Babel. I can look at another idol, say that's Cowtown. I can look at that idol and say it's me. I can look at that idol and say it's Wampa. And I can look at a BCM and say it's Captain, and et cetera, et cetera. Like they're like the higher up you go, the more unique the gameplay is because they're willing to try new things and they're willing to explore. Like they're willing to push the boundaries of the meta because the meta is still very young. It's still in development, and these characters like they have not reached their skill ceilings yet. And this was actually a huge topic of discussion earlier today, and in the Slap City Online Discord. Just like no one has really reached their character skill ceilings yet.
I'm so sorry.
That's fine, Juzo. But it was a good discussion to have because it's like it was bound to happen at some point. So
I believe it's time we move on and get to a little bit something but more casual to watch some gameplay for a little while, but that's a break. And then we'll get back to discussing some of our other topics. Coming up, we have 1 second. I'll actually look up my itinerary again.
hang on.
Look at this big nerd. He has a list at all times.
I have a list. It's a good list.
I has a lobby. I put in the passcode.
All right.
I will.
Can we put that up on stream? Rep, I think you would have to do that then. So
could I
really
pop?
need-
Well, let's boot this up then.
Yeah.
All right.
Would it be possible for me to share my screen on the overlay?
Be very low quality, I feel.
Sure.
Oh yeah, actually my resolution is pretty bad. So never mind.
All right. Past our casual gameplay break, we will be having a bit more meta discussion. Probably more about players than the actual characters this week.
We covered a lot on meta.
Yeah, we hit meta a bit earlier than we were expecting to.
Speaking of which, actually, we could probably talk about some newer players in the scene because there are a lot coming up lately.
Yeah, that's a good thing we can jump on now.
Yeah,
I think we should do that.
Yeah, I believe it was suggested earlier in the chat actually.
Yeah.
Shout out to whoever suggested that.
Yeah.
Shout outs to Jay Baker 43.
I do want to probably shout out the Jennies that have been trying their hardest to do their best with the character as she is right now.
Most notably, the SJT, also known as the Subpar Jenny Trio, consisting of Lyrex, Sly, and Hydra.
What a humbling name.
Also, I want to get this out real quick. Jenny's still a good character. All the characters are still good. Like, I just don't like where Jenny's at right now because I have no idea where the devs really want her to go. And that's where I just am like, I don't know how to play this character at all for like their vision.
Yeah, it was kind of the same with Ruby.
Good.
It was kind of the same with Ruby once he got gutted.
I think the lobby might be broken.
It might be.
Oh no, I'm searching Rambo.
Is it broken?
I didn't do anything. I'm sorry. Oh shoot, I can change it to 4 players. You guys want to do a free for all?
That's what I assumed we were doing.
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay, all right.
Let's do it.
Let's get in there.
Let's get it.
Levi, are you joining or should I?
I'm here already.
Yeah.
Okay, well then I will not be joining. I'll
You know
be
what?
here to discuss other things with the chat.
And whoever wants to jump in for the hell of it, that's a pass, dude.
Juzo, is that a mustache on your profile?
Here, hold on. I'll actually write that down.
He looks so angry.
Oh man, that's the perfect disguise. No one would notice.
That is definitely not Juzo.
That's definitely not me.
Oh,
Yeah,
guys, I don't think it's Juzo playing right now.
That might not be Juzo. I see all these casual status. We going random?
We're not even.
Yeah.
Alright,
Sick.
fine. Screw it, random.
Let's do it.
We're not even doing teams. We're doing random.
No.
This is FFA, baby.
FFA random.
I need a
Let's do
random.
it. I
won the
character
battle!
to follow.
Of course.
Oh, of course you start a bumper down.
Hell yeah.
Let's do this, boys.
It's a good thing we didn't have Rufflefox for this one.
Oh goodness.
Because,
Oh,
god, he
Lord.
would win here.
Yeah, this might be a little laggy.
Is it me? Probably. I'm gonna run over here.
Yeah, heaven forbid the Bumper Town game not be quite as precise as we were hoping for.
This is too nutty. Make it stop. Oh God!
Got him.
Oh no! I messed it up.
What is going on right now? Oh God! I'm only at 50. Oh my God!
This is
How
This
are
is
you
the-
alive?
when I wrote accurate game, like
Yeah.
casual
Ah,
gameplay.
shit.
Oh, I almost smacked Rainbow harder than anyone could ever believe.
Tried.
The bomb saved your life, dude.
It always does. And it, well, okay.
I was
never mind,
wondering
it
how
doesn't.
that one would interact. Oh, I am dead.
I want to point out that when I said casual gameplay, I wasn't expecting it to go to Bumper Town immediately.
Oh, I
Dude.
was.
I blame Random.
Help me!
I like how no one's tried to kill me yet. Get at. Oh no! Stop him. Oh
Just
shit!
give me a second, guys.
I thought I like died off the top. of it down the...
You're so...
Give me a sec.
Oh lord! Oh please stop!
Oh, God.
Oh my god!
How are you still alive?
Stop!
Can't even back throw you.
Mercy! Oh god! Oh god!
That was the longest hit stun I've ever seen.
Please! How am I still alive?
I love Goddess's up throw on Bumper Town.
It's beautiful.
It
Oh,
looks so
The
bad.
bomb just saved me.
Wait, if I,
Nerf bomb,
will I
please.
just kill you if I up throw you right now? Oh, there's
No.
a bumper! On Bumper Town, I don't believe it!
Attacking is too good. Oh,
Apple
please
baby.
stop. Please. Oh, God. Just got up thrown to death.
No! I'm dead!
Oh, Lord. Give me to never do this again. Holy crap.
Is
Oh, so
Juzo
Juzo's
already
dead.
gone?
Juzo's dead.
Oh! Get
Well, there goes
beamed!
Juzo.
What the heck is that? Oh
my
God!
Fishes,
Why don't
learn
you
your
die
angles on Bumper
already?
Town.
What the heck is going on?
All I wanted to do was put side B
Oh,
against
please.
the bumpers.
Please.
Oh my god!
And I got what? I had a
Oh my god! Die!
The pinnacle of gameplay
How are
right
you
now.
alive?
There you go. Oh god.
Oh lord. What is going on? Oh shit.
Rep, I like that you got the taunt to get bodied combo.
Oh jeez.
Figured we needed
Can I?
at least one.
Can we not?
Just give any second now.
Ah!
Any second
No!
now.
Oh my god!
I'm alive, boys. Oh Jesus.
I'm just sad that there aren't a bunch of side Bs coming out from Levi.
Ooh.
Like that was the only thing I was going for that entire game.
Oh lord.
Oh, Levi doesn't know the strats.
Yeah, just
I
I
remind
do
me.
want to say
Fish,
thanks to everybody who
hold
tuned
up.
in. There was a point during this stream where we had 50 people watching, which I was very happy to
Oh
see.
my god.
So this will
Oh,
be
this is
the only
so
one, I
good.
assume, and then we'll get back to discussion.
Help me!
Potentially.
Help me, Obi-Wan
no, we can probably
Kenobi.
do
You're my
like maybe
only
one or
hope.
two more. Just a small
Oh
break.
my.
Not just-
Oh god.
I'm gonna need
Oh
you guys
my
to back
god.
off. That was scary.
I'm gonna stop. Oh my god. Okay.
Yo!
Me and you. Oh god. Oh god.
This is... I'm so happy that
What? The bomb
Can we
gets
talk?
stuck!
Can we talk about the bomb that was just chilling on the side? The bomb was having a good time.
Oh lord.
We're down to the 1v1 situation.
No!
And it seems like it's ending with tennis.
That's exactly what I wanted. More tennis.
Everyone wants tennis.
No!
Tennis. Not,
Get
not,
wrecked.
Aw, that was great.
Jesus.
I'm the king of Bumper Town.
All right,
Fight me.
so let's.
Raffle Fox 2?
What? Oh,
Let's see. I actually want to move on to talking about some of the newer players in the scene, or at least ones that I don't know personally,
Okay.
because I think that would be really good for discussion because things are definitely changing, which is good. So I'm just looking at the last Slap Saturday. So Cowtown is obviously one that we've talked about a bunch. He's been on the up and coming, and he's been doing well. Sly is doing better again. And then Pung is a goddess, if I remember correctly, that has been doing better as well. And those are just 3 newcomers to the top 8. I don't has Sly top 8'd before?
Sly has top 8
Yes.
before.
Okay.
He took out Rambo and Dennis in one tournament. if I
Oh,
recall.
Yeah, that's right. That's the tournament I timed him out at.
Yeah.
That was,
that
was
what a
really
great
nice of you.
introduction to him as a player.
Oh man, beautiful. Just beautiful.
You get timed out by like the best player at the time.
that's the best first impression a guy could ask for.
to be honest, I don't know if I won't. Where do you played so many games? I forgot. I forgot our win record. Not sure.
So what do you know about these guys? Let's start with Pung.
Pung? I actually fought Pung in pools in beta bracket, and he beat me 2-1. And
Pung?
well, I choked game 3, but
Yeah.
like he is a pretty solid goddess. Like I played him in friendlies as well, and he definitely opts to not use neutral B, which I find very interesting in goddess because that's one of her best moves, and he makes it work really well. Although I think that he has a bit of stream jitters because he's been known to choke a bit on like when he was on stream during tournaments, but that should not like discredit him because he's a very solid goddess. And if you're in the Pong chat, if you're in the chat, Pong, you're a very good goddess, and I respect you, man. So, and moving.
My thoughts on Pung, personally. I've played with him before. I think he actually even entered too many tournaments. He wasn't really making a name for himself back then.
Mhm.
And I remember telling, I think it was Rambo, that wow, this goddess has like the best neutral I've seen a goddess have since I've played with Levi. And he doesn't use neutral B. He didn't use neutral B at the time, at least. And I don't know. When I play him, I think he just kind of suffers against BCM because, you know, Business Casual Man really hurts Goddess right now. So it's hard for me to give too much information on him, but I think he's really up and coming.
Mm-hmm.
He is like 11 technically right now on the season 2 for fall.
I thought you meant an age for a second.
No, he is not 11.
Boo.
He might be, but I don't think he is.
I doubt it
That
highly.
doesn't, that doesn't sound right.
Yeah.
But you never know. This is a growing
yeah.
world.
I'm 15. I mean,
Yep, it's weird. I think all the goddesses might just be young. Okay, Pungulator's 12. Sorry, guys.
of course,
He's
we messed
12.
it up by 1.
Getting a new video up for you guys. Give me 1 second.
Another person that's up and coming recently is Booker, or Booker. I don't know how we pronounce it, but I'm gonna say Booker. He's a fish player, and I've been hearing good things. I haven't personally fought him though, so I don't know much about him.
I've fought Booker under an alias. He didn't know it was me. Good times,
Okay.
good times.
All right, he just got
And
this information revealed to him.
yes, so I let him know that, and he actually did really well versus my goddess. He's extremely aggressive, just goes on in and abuses Nair a lot, and he does well with that. It's just, I think he shuts down as soon as he gets hit. Like, that's my only concern about him. He's got a good aggro game, could probably use a little bit better neutral mix-ups, and a little bit better mentality of, well, I'm hit, I'm dead isn't the best way to go around. Like, I felt like when I was playing him, he was getting more and more depressed when I played him. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah, no, I completely.
That happens to
So many
players who
notifications.
are
Get outta here.
one fish mains who are getting comboed and two don't know how to flex out of these yet.
Yeah. So
There's also the Jenny player Yi who has been showing up a bit more, and is actually getting close to the subpar Jenny trio.
Yay.
So
it's soon as
I've
subpar
I
Jenny
played him.
Quartet.
He's,
Yep.
yeah, it might be soon.
The SJQ.
And not really as a new player, AOG is coming back and going to be playing in these next week's tournament or this
His
week's tournament.
kid is old enough to responsibly take naps.
Yep.
Nice.
So he
Matt-
can now join back in. He was the old Jenny of I'm going to down B until it stops working, and it never stopped working. It really didn't.
I'd like to say a few things about
Booker?
Booker. Yeah, sorry, I
Oh
was
yeah, let's hear him.
getting lost for words. So I personally haven't fought him in like a month, but from what I did see back then, he had a lot of potential. Like his neutral could have used a little bit of work, but I mean, hey, that's just about everyone in this game, right? And just he had a lot of potential at the time, and I actually really look forward to fighting him again because I haven't seen it in a while. And actually, shameless plug, he was actually featured in one of my YouTube videos, not top tier, but it'll do part 5. So
Shameless.
it is very
Shame.
shameless.
Part
but I
52.
have to do it.
Follow me
I'm
on twitch.tv/Levi_guy.
only on part 11, man. Fight me.
Everybody follow Rapidio on Twitch. Just
Don't
Yeah, you
follow
guys do
me
whatever
on
the
anything.
heck
Yeah.
Just
you
come,
want.
come back and
It's
watch
just-
this again.
So
This is
Yi,
shameless
tell me
one, guy.
more about Yi.
I fought him a bit, although unfortunately the connection was a bit iffy. Although that there isn't much that could be done about that, sadly. But from what I did see, he was pretty solid. Like his punish game was actually really good, especially off stage. Like he does really well with his dares, and he like actually fought him in a Jenny Ditto, and well, my Jenny's mediocre at best. And
Oh,
hey,
I know.
shut up. But and
Below subpar Jenny trio.
listen,
Subpar.
I'm an idle man, okay? I don't play Jenny that much. But yeah, like I actually had a lot of fun fighting E when we weren't like spiking every 2 seconds. And wait, what?
We are
Oh.
getting new footage. We're getting
this is full
slapped on
screen.
the way.
Listen, I
that's
wasn't
fantastic.
expecting all the dynamite, Juzo. I was not, and I've improved my Jenny a little bit, right?
Okay, this is an interesting way of doing this.
Okay, there we
Alright.
go.
Okay, there we go.
The ghost of Juzo.
The ghost of Juzo. Shout
Oh no,
out.
my true secret identity is being revealed. It's totally not me as BIOS Trigger. I
a
swear.
couple of better players that we should probably mention is Mr. Awesome Aiden, who is a REM player who actually did really well against me, I believe, recently, and knocked Westballs out so hard that he DQ'd from beta bracket.
He made Westballs quit again.
He made Westballs quit again.
He hit him with the twofer.
He was feeling better. He was feeling better after the
He was
down
like, yeah, I still
Puka.
like this game. Fish is cool. And then
He
Awesome
got
Aiden came
torn.
along and West quit.
He got torn in half.
Ooh,
He was
you know who?
he was pretty salty after a set with me because of Fluffy.
Oh my god, he banned
Oh yeah, I
me.
remember that.
He banned me from his stream because I said go Rambo like once.
Oh, man.
It was that was an interesting time.
a bit
Dude,
much.
Westballs banned me from his stream when I was subbed to him. This is just a thing he does.
That's a bit much.
Oh, Wes.
It's hey, I did
Keep
down throw
playing
him.
Slap, please.
I should have
So
I
expected
feel
good.
the
it.
same way, Hug.
Oh no, there was the drama with Shith. That was a very interesting moment. I think that was
I think Westballs might be the funniest
Okay,
personality in
Cypher
Slap City.
yeah,
Westballs-
definitely.
Let's go back to our
Westballs
players.
is actually super chill.
Yeah. Back to
Yeah.
players. I think Mr. Awesome Aiden is actually getting really good, and he's like following in the steps of Fumbles a bit. I've been watching him play, and he's sort of going a more defensive-based Fumbles. But
I
he's
see.
learning everything that Fumbles does against me, and has been watching his streams. I can imagine, because when I played him, it felt like I was fighting him, just like a little bit, more fresh.
And
I
Remedy's
think
got a crazy high skill ceiling, so like if you practice with her, I think we're going to see a lot more remedies if this patch
Yeah.
continues.
Yeah.
I
Yo,
think
you know who's really good? Yo, Hot Dog Lord 42069.
Oh, man.
He's a god, dog.
He
I
is pretty
believe-
amazing.
I believe
That's
you mean
Wampa.
XX Hot Dog Lord 42069 XX.
If I'm revealing myself, I'm
sorry.
revealing him too. So that's Wampa. He was memeing, and a lot of people got memed on.
I got named not in group.
Speaking of being memed on.
A lot of people, and it's beautiful.
It was very funny.
It was
I'm so
hilarious.
glad he did that.
Oh,
joke.
That was the
What
also
just happened
wow.
on this recording.
that dumbbell was sick.
My dumbbells are real. Never questioned them.
Holy moly.
Okay, so let's move on to another player that I've seen in the top 16 a few times is Aku, a Jenny player.
I've never heard.
And
of
then
him.
I
another
haven't
one
actually
that-
fought Aku, but I've been
Me
hearing
neither,
about
actually.
him. I've been hearing about him. He's kind of been under the radar.
And then another player that I've seen a bunch as well is Caillou. Caillou's been around for a while, but was underperforming, but appears to be
Yeah.
doing a bit better now.
Well, that's
Yeah,
good.
I think
Yeah,
Caillou finally broke through, because I've seen Caillou here for a while.
Wait,
Juzo, that was insane.
What
That
was
up B,
What was
cancel you
that?
did. That was
Oh,
really
so
cool.
up B on Heartland edges. Heartland edges extend off the stage a little bit, so you can stall with Goddess up B a little bit.
That's
And
weird.
you
I don't
just
like
hold
that.
into the
That's
stage,
cool. I
and then
actually
as
wish
soon as you want to
Heartland
go
was a
above it,
stage
you just
now.
hold out.
Yeah, I kind of like that.
Wait, is this the
Actually,
game?
I wish
That's so
Heartland was a
weird.
single stage for
Is this the
that,
game
but
with
it's
that one
good for
dumbbell?
doubles.
Or is
that's
that later on?
crazy.
But yeah, I've played Aku a bunch. He's a pretty all right Jenny, and just is playing Jenny well for what she's at right now, and I like that.
Despite
I-
being here for a while, I think we should probably bring up Cowtown, the highest of all the newer players, because Cowtown only jumped in, I don't know, last month. really?
Very recently.
I think the first time I fought against Cowtown was the No More Tennis tournament that was hosted by
Yeah, that was
Captain.
when I fought him too, and
And-
he was taking a lot of names then.
Yeah, he actually
Yeah.
beat me pretty handily. So it was definitely unexpected, and it was actually a really enlightening just to see there are more up and coming idols, and just outside of these names that we've mentioned here, there are a lot of other very talented players that are up and coming. So if we didn't get you, then please don't think that we don't think
Yeah.
you're good.
There,
'cause-
if
Yeah.
you for more recognition, participate in more tournaments.
Yeah,
We
do it.
exposure is great in this game.
yeah,
It's such
like
a small community. You will learn people's names, how they talk.
Yeah.
It's a good time.
I think
And
the best.
it's the best way to get better.
Yeah, and also just another thing to really do to get improved is just watch your matches. Save your replays, watch
Yeah.
your matches, see where you went wrong, where you can improve.
If
Also
you get on
ask-
stream, watch GR Slap, or
Yeah.
just watch top players play too. That can also help out a lot. That's how
Yeah.
a lot of people who are getting into melee got better with it. So it
Even
works
then-
similar here.
Some depending on your character. Oh, it'll change later on. Sometimes you won't have that many players to look up to. That's how I was with Goddess. I was just kind of on my own, and I figured
Yeah.
this character out.
That's kind of how I was with BCM as well, because there was Zage, but other than
Yeah.
that, there was no BCMs that played like how I play.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's the same for me because Delap did exist, but Delap was very strange, I guess. I honestly don't know how to just. I can tell what Delap's style is, if I'm watching him and don't know his name,
Yeah.
but I don't know how to describe how he actually
The
plays.
Lapidator just plays like himself, and it's hard
Yeah,
to
exactly.
figure out.
Yeah,
Delap plays the game. He does
That's
not.
something
play Goddess.
that I like about this game. While there is a lot of people with Fish, he had this issue where people will just fall into the same options and do the same things a lot. A
Yeah.
lot of the characters that are off characters, not Fish, not Idle, for example, and I mean everyone else is pretty much fine. Everyone plays really differently in this game.
yeah.
Everyone has a really good identity, and there's a lot of fluidity of motion, so you could customize the character that you like, how you're going to play it.
Like
Yeah.
that's what Fumbles
I
does.
press side B instead of B with Jenny. That was my favorite thing.
Yeah.
That
Or
was awesome.
Or for me, who was like, I don't want to be the tech chase grab guy. I want to be the combo guy, and I made combo BCM. And it didn't seem like it could be a thing when I first joined because I was so sure that how Zage was playing it. He already knew how the character worked, but don't just just because it's in the top play doesn't mean that it's the only way to play your character. Doesn't have to be optimal. You can learn how to play unoptimally and be better than the people that are up there.
Yep, I actually got a lot of my bombs. A lot of my bomb setups are actually inspired by Cairo, and I also utilize butt a lot because I saw Wampa using butt very effectively, and I learned to. For a while, I actually struggled to find my own play style, and once I realized that, oh, okay, I want to do this, then I just kind of made it my own, and I've had a lot of fun with it ever since. I look for new creative bomb setups every match that I play. And also just don't be afraid to experiment. Because I experimented a lot, just during matches, even in bracket. I was never afraid to test my limits and just figure out what worked and what didn't. I didn't quite go into training mode as much as I should have, but it never hurts to figure out what you can do.
Yeah, I'd actually the person who I associate most with my improvement is actually Juzo, because back when he streamed very consistently, I would just kind of always be in a stream, and if he was doing viewer games, I was in those viewer games.
I also used to watch Juzo a lot, where I would just kind of listen to what he said and try to improve based on it.
That was I improved just by fighting Juzo, and that's how I got my first top 8.
I think Juzo at one point he actually went over an entire set with me.
And that did
pointed
happen.
out every single mistake and neutral that I did, and just how I could improve, what better options I could do. I took that to heart, and I went and just practice it. I drilled out the bad habits in my head.
Didn't I just ask you what the hell you were thinking when you were dash dancing across the stage a lot? Why were you doing this?
I got better at the dash dance. Okay, I do it with purpose.
I remember when we would play, and there would be 10 games where you would just be telling me, "Please stop doing jump back air." And I couldn't help myself. I was like,
it was so obvious.
It was back air is so cool. It's such a great combo move, and you'd say it is, and then I would keep doing it.
Because every time you didn't face me, you jump and then back air, and it was okay, I guess I'll hit this again for the 10th time this time.
And then I remember the next time we played on your stream, the next day you streamed, and I stopped doing that, and you actually were like, "Whoa, he didn't press back."
I know that you were ragging on me a lot about just spamming back airs in neutral, trying to establish space. I know a few other people that I fought actually noted this out too, and I actually one night I was fighting an idol that was actually pretty solid, but they had the habit of using that back air wall too, and I found out, called them out, and I just punished them for it. And I'm I did this at one point.
Yeah,
it's nice.
It's kind of nice to see someone play the way you used to play.
Yeah.
Yeah. My favorite thing is when I found a BCM, actually today, I was just fighting a random BCM, and he was using a lot of my combos. And when I made the joke of I'm inspiring the new generation of business casual men, I didn't actually think that they were gonna start showing up, but they finally are.
Yeah.
Everyone's one of those ones, and he's from EU. He took a lot of my stuff last time I played him, and wish he competed because he's really good.
I was surprised
to the point that he can beat me.
I was surprised to hear that Pung was doing well. I'm glad he is. I'm glad there's a new goddess in town.
Yeah,
to be honest,
rare, so it's good to have them.
Yeah, exactly. They're very, very, very nice at quitting the game.
No. Well, D-Lab didn't quit because of Goddess. He quit because he was like, "Oh, you guys think Ruby's the worst character?" And then he played new Ruby, and he was like, "All right, I'm out."
he might be. Whoops.
And honestly, if my net starts working again, I'm gonna come back. It's just I'm not gonna play packet loss games.
Yeah.
My the only thing stopping me from coming back, honestly, is I like to stream a lot now.
Yeah.
I stream basically every day, but I don't know, because I'm well, I could stream me, playing in the tournament, but at the same time, I don't really want to.
You don't want to become a Slap City channel.
Yeah, I don't want to be. I don't want that to be my niche.
Yeah. honestly, if I were to start streaming, which I probably won't because I'm very bad at talking to myself. I've said it many times.
No,
and I'm
I was
going to continue to say it.
It takes a lot of practice.
I would probably go
Yeah.
entirely into Slap City because
We're sorry, Delap. We love you.
it's a growing game. Did Delap say something? I didn't see it.
Don't worry about it.
Lap, you're very well respected in this community. Don't take
We
anything too
think you're
seriously.
great. We think you're great. We want you to come back and compete in tournaments.
A
To
big,
be honest-
beautiful man.
To be honest, I probably just want to like spend like the rest of my slap days just like training other idols, just other people in general, just to get better. Just
Yeah.
because I don't know, competing just kind of feels like tiring after a while.
Mhm.
I think
Yeah.
I've already, I guess, made a name for myself in the community,
You have.
and
You're known as like the nicest person in Slap City Online.
You and Henry are like the nicest people.
thank you.
Speaking of, I of course I haven't been paying that much attention to tournaments. How's XJ or how's XJ Henry been doing?
He's doing school.
He's kind of yeah. A lot of top players have gone out because of summer or other reasons, like
Yeah.
Juzo, who has his
Yeah.
internet problem.
So yeah,
Which
so
is allowing
Henry's
a
been-
lot of like the newer faces to really show up and be
Yeah, this is
more
true.
pronounced, which is actually a good thing. I kind of like that because we're gonna probably get our top 30 to be, a good variety of people instead of just
Yeah.
be people who are like old top players that quit like we had before.
Yeah.
That's what top 30 used to be, but now we will probably actually have a pretty accurate top 30 of new people.
Also, can I just
That's
take a
not
moment to
true.
like just give a shout out to Husky, who just kind of blew up in the Alpha Rat tournament?
Husky is so good.
Husky
'Cause I-
is so
yeah,
good.
I see him floating around in chat, and I had to take the opportunity. It's like
Husky.
I did not really know who
Husky
he
showed
was.
out of nowhere and was just like, "All right, guys, I'm gonna make Fish Bungeon busted," and then now everyone
did.
complains about the worst thing in the game.
Okay.
I
Husky-
honestly,
Husky did the unimaginable. He made me uncertain about down throw.
That's like so weird too.
And,
Rep loved down throw, and he was like,
Down throw
always
is my
defending it.
life.
He's
It's
been
like-
here
it's been
longer than I
tainted.
have. You've been here longer than I have, and you've been defending down throw ever since.
From
and Husky
day
came along, and
one.
you finally
snapped.
saw the power.
I saw down throw being fine. What I did also see was wave flex into down throw being dumb. That's
Yeah.
really dumb.
It's
my-
very, very dumb.
oh,
And he just,
That was
oh,
that was
questionable
sad.
couple play.
That was pain.
All right,
jeez.
Husky. I'm gonna be streaming on my own channel, probably playing Slap. So we should play after this is over.
To continue on with our itinerary here, we should probably move into since we talked about new players, maybe some of the old players, where they've gone, what are they
Yeah.
doing, if they're coming back. I do think Henry plans on coming back eventually. He said that he's been making a small switch to Goddess due to some of the
Hey.
Remedy hate
I-
out there.
I believe Henry said he mainly come back when the new character comes out.
Yeah,
That's fair.
So that's also where Wampa's gonna be. Pretty much, he'll be coming back for good.
Yeah.
When the new character comes out to try
I'm
them
excited
out.
for that as well.
Probably entering like 1 or 2 tournaments until realizing the new character is probably bad and then leaving.
And then the new character gets buffed and has his or her up tilt combo into their neutral B in a loop,
Yeah.
and it becomes the talk of the town.
Yeah,
you
Wanda
know?
Yeah.
just needs to wait until the patch after the new character.
Yeah, that's pretty much what needs to happen. Because whatever
really,
the
that's-
new character is, they're gonna be either busted or they're gonna be like
They're-
so weak that
no
there's
one's
no.
ever
Yeah.
I mean-
busted out of the gate.
I mean,
Even
this,
though
yeah.
Ludo tried to make Goddess busted out of the
She
box,
wasn't
that's
busted.
the
At
funniest
that.
thing.
she was
That's the
pretty bad.
funniest thing. Like they talked about how they were wanting to make her like the most OP character on release, and there were just so many problems. Oh my goodness, she was so bad.
I think they were very afraid of making her like fish level busted, which is understandable.
I mean,
But-
they got a little burned by. Like, it goes both ways. Old Fish was dumb.
Oh
The
my
nerf to Old Fish was probably dumber.
hug, please. That was the best description of that skin I've heard.
That is a pretty accurate description. In other news,
Honestly miss Wampa because he actually inspired me to keep playing Idle. Because I was actually
Yeah, honestly.
Go on. Sorry.
because like I was getting pretty like dejected about playing Idle because Kyra wasn't competing in tournaments at the time, and just in general I was hearing constantly she was bottom tier, and then Wampa comes out of the gate and wins his tournament with this seemingly bottom tier character, and then it just made me want to keep playing Idle and getting better with her, and like suddenly I don't know, just
It's weird to think about because there was a point in time where me and Cairo used to be on the same page and we were like, man, it'll suck so much. We used to say that. And we used to talk about how we would make her better. And we suggested probably what is now that I'm considering it, where I am now in the game. The scariest change that could have ever have happened, which would have been being able to grab and hold on to bomb as if it were
I was there for that discussion and I'm like, I want this immediately.
I wanted it! But it's horrifying to think about where you see Idle now.
Hindsight's
yeah.
2020.
The thing about Slap is every character has always been viable at a top level.
Mhm.
Even like Goddess on release was viable at a top level. Like she wasn't good, but you could still do successful things with her.
The lap
carry
made her
was
work.
The worst idea I ever had. It was awful.
Yeah, in hindsight, it was pretty bad. Just because,
I'm
like,
so glad Ludosity Temps didn't go with that.
thank God.
They know what they're doing more than we give them credit for. Because if that happened, oh, it would have hurt.
Oh yeah, it's super easy to just sit back, make a bunch of comments about how you don't disagree, or you do agree or disagree, whatever, with like what they do. Like it's so easy to be on the sidelines talking about stuff, but they're the ones who are actually making these changes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And who is another really?
We should also probably discuss Flex because Flex has been kind of in and out right now, mostly due to school.
That boy's so bad at Scriblio.
He wants to try.
Oh
so
my
bad.
God! We don't want to talk about. I don't want to talk about.
This isn't a
that.
Scriblio like podcast. We
Not
can do
yet.
that another time.
Or Scriblio cast. Come on now.
Babel,
please
we need you to
don't
make
roast
us a
Yo,
me.
better
y'all,
picture.
buckle up for episode 2.
So back to Flex.
Flex has been in and out mostly because he's been preoccupied with Monster Hunter, as
Hell
a lot of
yeah.
the top slap players have gone to.
Game is good.
Monster
It is
Hunter
a good
is a
game.
slap retirement
Y'all need
home.
to buy Generations Ultimate if you got a Switch. That's the true hard game.
World for
Play
PC.
on my PC, but back to Flex.
Yeah.
Flex, this isn't a conversation about Flex. It's about what Flex has been doing.
Yeah, pretty much.
I think it's extremely fitting that trying to talk about Flex is ending in complete failure. Because that happens every time we try to commentate a set with him.
reasonable. It's like, man, let's talk about this cool guy, and then suddenly we just kind of fall off.
I like how
Similar.
And that-
Similar to Flex.
That describes most of his stream sets so well. It's so sad.
So
I
my
feel
favorite
like
thing
we've
about
been
Flex right
actually
now,
pretty on topic recently with this
Yeah.
stream.
Yeah,
I think we did well.
the number one thing about Flex right now is he's using his brother's birth certificate for Slap League.
That's
You can't
hilarious.
just say that!
Is that
He's
true?
exposed!
He exposed me. I'm exposing him back.
Bro,
Whoa!
Exposed
that's
by
pretty.
saying
That's
Flex,
Okay.
please!
deep, man.
Nobody
Jesus
said this to
Christ,
Alpharad, please. Nobody
yeah,
said it to Alpharad.
no one mentioned this.
Because Flex will get in
His
trouble.
career's over!
His career is done.
Why'd you say that?
Why would you do that, Juzo?
You're so mean.
He can get another brother.
But I guess like,
Juzo, that's
To be
the
honest,
opposite of how you solve the problem!
He's right, you
to
know.
be honest, Flex, when he was like hitting his stride, he was probably one of the best fishes to have ever played the game.
I
Just
think
like-
Flex is still one of the best fishes. I think he might
Yeah.
still be the best fish right now when Babunga isn't entering.
Oh, that's
And-
true. Yeah, Babunga's.
Because Babunga also being kind of a in and out player, but
Yeah.
he's always been that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what
Just-
player I miss? What fish? Weeger. I miss that fish.
Oh, I
Ouija
miss
still plays.
Wager.
Ouija still
Oh,
plays. It's just
Yeah,
rare.
he does.
Yeah, I think the last
Wager.
time I fought him was.
I think he's kind of fallen off a little bit because I think
Maybe,
the rest of the fish started really improving at a very exponential rate compared to where Ouija was at right now at the point.
I see.
he was actually my
Husky's
first stream
sick, but he
match.
only has one move.
Like,
Like,
nope. I think
Husky, I'm sorry.
Witcher was actually my first stream match, and it's one that was back when there was like we were trying out 3 stocks, and we just realized that Fish dominated 3 stocks. It was
Oh
scary.
god, that was such a bad. Oh my gosh, I commentated that tournament.
3 stocks.
Oh, God.
3
That was madness.
stocks. Oh boy.
Oh my gosh,
I
every
never
stock
want
was
that
the
to happen
fear
again.
of Fish, and it was bad times.
And yeah, I blew myself up with bombs so many times.
I've just tried to picture right now. This is terrible. I've tried to picture 3 stocks with like old Fish.
No,
Never.
actually, I wasn't around for Broken Fish, but still, it's like
No.
that was.
Imagine
Husky,
Nair
no.
going to anything, and imagine F-Throw always linking to Nair that goes to anything,
Like with
and
old,
then killing him after one interaction with side B.
Like,
with old Fish, you could Nair plane into down throw, but you wouldn't want to because you could Nair plane into Nair plane.
you could nair into 4 throw and then do it again.
That's the
Yeah.
one time forward throw was useful.
Character was super degenerate. Like the only character that is probably stronger on is probably Bayo when before nerfs.
yeah.
Like he was super degenerate and super strong. Holy.
Oh
Yeah.
man, the Rem up air ladders.
The
we
remedy
gotta
or
discuss.
whatever.
We should probably
At
discuss
least
a
that
bit.
ended quickly, so people didn't realize
Yeah.
how stupid it was.
Yeah, yeah.
I
And
got hit
everyone
by
was
those
on
letters.
Techi and Kreese nuts at the time, anyways.
Some of the starts for aggressive remedy were not just fumbles, because it was an idea that people were having before then. I believe Henry, Huggernaut, and Techi were like the first 3 who were like, "Oh yeah, we can do this." And then I kind of joined the bandwagon, trying to find as much as I could, going into like a lab with remedy. But
Mhm.
fumbles being the one to like really truly
Mhm.
improve on it and bring it to the top level.
Yeah, he's done great. He's a really good player. I'm excited to see what he does in the future.
Honestly, just shout out to all the Rem mains who. Shout out to everyone who just works on developing the meta. Because like, like even if like you don't make it into like top 30, top 8 with your respective character, the fact that you managed to push the meta that much.
If you are talking about your character and how you can develop their meta further and learning new things about them, and even just discussing if certain things are possible, you are benefiting this game more than you can
Yeah.
imagine.
Yeah,
Yep.
bro.
Remedy's got a giant skill ceiling, so I think we're just going to see her more and more. Like burst movements, great recovery.
I
Like
do
she's
hope.
got so much good stuff. Like she's not even close to her potential right now.
I just
No,
want her to be killable, dude.
Most people
We all do, man.
I just want to feel good for hitting her.
Yeah, yeah.
I honestly
But that's
felt
like
real.
the main problem.
I actually
Yes,
felt
you are,
really
Husky.
good winning that one set against against Henry. Like that was probably the highlight of my career.
I like how the current strategy against Remedy as Jenny is literally go for the timeout.
I mean, it works. It
Like,
works.
literally, that's
It
the strat.
works.
I think we've kind of hit our time.
that's everything.
about now. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
we've done everything for this one.
I like.
This has been pretty good. This was fun. I really like doing this. Actually.
Yeah. So if you guys
Good time all
if you
around.
if you guys want to see this next week, please press 1 to chat.
We'll probably do it
No,
bi-weekly.
it's
Okay,
bi-weekly.
bi-weeks. Okay.
If you want to
next
see it
time.
I'm doing
bi-weekly,
these on
press
mo-
2 in the chat.
Yeah, press
There it
two.
goes. Better. Better.
We're gonna be doing bi-weekly with the SlapCast. Well, we probably go every Monday because it seems like a good time for it, because that's when the
Yeah.
new tournaments get announced, so we can
Monday
discuss
works.
that. And being bi-weekly gives us enough time to find new things to discuss and see how
Poll up
players are doing.
topics.
Bad
Yeah.
idea.
hmm As long as we aren't going with any drama topics, I'm cool with stuff.
Yeah.
And then if you guys want me to come back, just let me know.
We'll
and-
probably pick up a new guest for next time because we want to
Yeah.
do player interviews. But thanks for staying on, Juzo.
No
yeah,
problem.
Juzo the goat.
Your hosts for today were Rep, Rambo, me, and Levi, and Juzo as our guest, our special guest.
Good times.
It's
all
nice.
around.
Until next time, happy slapping, folks.
Happy
Oh,
slapping.
Oh, quick shout out. Just follow me on Twitter, Juzo_GA. Appreciate it.
There
Also,
has to be
This
some
and I'm
shilling
just
the
some point,
Also-
right?
section.
Okay,
the stream?
last shameless plug. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Mark of Rambo.
And please follow Slap City Online on Twitch.
Yes, do that.
Yep.
I will be streaming after this podcast on my Twitch channel.
And we shall be hosting you.
Yeah,
Yes.
boy. Thank you for that. I'll be starting the stream just about now.
All right.
All right, sounds good.
Signing
nice
off.
night.